So I think the easiest way to show hundreds is to go ahead and create a square and demonstrate how a giant square and show how it's hundreds. One way you could do this is to draw out 100 cubes, which would be time consuming and unnecessary, so I do not recommend it. I think the easiest way to do it is to draw a giant square and then write 100 on it. That I think is going to be the easiest way to do it, because otherwise this out of hundreds is like one of 10 of these. You would have to draw out 10 lines up and down this way and 10 lines this way to make 100, which is going to take a lot of time and probably isn't the best use of your time. Draw a giant square, write 100 on it. Boom, it's 100s. I'm going to know what you mean if you write 100 on this and you make it a big square, and you will get that. So, for example, if we go ahead and want to demonstrate the number 217, what we need is 2 hundreds, so 2 big squares, each with 100 on them, 1 tens, and I'm going to do it with the stick method personally. That's how I like it. You could do it with a bundle of 10 if that's what you want. So this is 2 hundreds, 1 10, and then 7 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And here is 217 drawn out into pieces. 2 hundreds, 1 10, 7 ones. And that is how that would look. Then if you go ahead and turn the page, it has some problems. You will also see a ruler here. And the reason you have this ruler is to go ahead and discuss what the groupings are. If you look at this, a ruler kind of makes groups and bundles of 5s and 10s. Let's look close. Each one has the small numbers, but it then writes the big groups in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. What you can and should do with this is cut it out and tape or glue it together. It will help you. Oh, you might not be able to because I made the copy back to back. Just kidding. But you can go back and look at this as many times as you want. Maybe you want to make a copy of this and have a print it out, and it's like a nice counting to 100s chart. But you can't really cut it out because I made the copy on the other side. Sorry about that. But this... Stop. So you can use this to help you count by tens, but it also has every number in between, so it shows you how to write the numbers and what the number may be. This can help you on any assignment. This is like a hundreds number table, but in a way that looks like a ruler. Use this for anything you need to, and if you want, make a copy and cut it out. I'm sorry, I printed it back to back. So for this next one here, on this next page, what it wants you to do is show what or how to get to this number here. So it says 2 ones plus blank ones equals 10. The first thing to figure out is 2 plus what equals 10. Once you figure that out, you'll be able to figure out how many ones. You can go ahead and do a number bond for this or draw it out. I am going to do a number bond for this problem to figure out what the answer is going to be. So at the top of the number bond, I'm going to go ahead and put the number 10. And then the other one of the lower number bonds, I'm going to go ahead and put the number 2. So here on my number bond for this problem, what I need to do is find the number that goes here. What we can do is use the count on method to go ahead and solve. So I'm going to go 10. I have 2 here. I need to count from 2 until 10. So I'm going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I'm going to count out the dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my missing number is 8. 2 plus 8 equals 10. Therefore, 2 ones plus 8 ones equals 10. And I'm drawing this out right now to kind of show you what that looks like. 2 1s plus 8 1s equals 10. The next problem is pretty similar. It says the next problem is meant to help you do that. I wasn't looking closely enough. So then 2 plus what equals 10? 2 plus 8. This next one, it says 6 10s plus blank 10s equals 100. So we're trying to get to 100 counting by tens. So this is where you can go to your chart, maybe don't draw on it, and go ahead and look until you get to 100. Count how many times you need to count on. So I'm going to go to 100. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I had to count on 4 times by 10, so I need 4 tens. And 4 tens is the same as what number? Well, let's count by tens. So Winton drew out tens. We go 10, 20, 30, 40. So it's the same. 4 tens is the same as 40. All right. This next one says, rewrite in order from largest to smallest units. Which one is the largest and which one is the smallest? Right here we have 6 tens, 3 hundreds, and 8 ones. I recommend you draw that out to have a visual, and you'll be able to see which one is larger or smaller just based off that. So I'm going to draw 6 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then I'm going to draw out 3 hundreds, 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to draw out 8 ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And there we have it. 6 tens, 3 hundreds, 8 ones. Which one is the largest? Hopefully you said 3 hundreds is the largest. It's the biggest amount, right? 300. So on that largest, we're going to write 3 hundreds, and we're going to write it out with words to practice spelling words. 3 hundreds. The next one, it says, which one's the next largest? Is that, we've already used that 3 hundreds. Is it 6 tens or 8 ones? Hopefully you said it's 6 tens. We're going to count 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. 6 tens is the same as 60. So it's the next biggest number, and 8 ones is the same as 8. So it is the smallest number, and we're going to go ahead and write that on the bottom line. 3 hundreds, 6 tens, 8 ones. That is the order from largest to smallest, or from greatest to least. This next one, it wants you to go ahead and take a look and see, counting wise, is it a bundles of 100, bundles of 10, and sticks of 1? How much is each bundle or group worth? So if we're counting here bundles of 100, this is how they're going to show bundles of 100. We need to count out by hundreds. So we're not counting out by ones, we're not counting by fives or tens, we're counting by hundreds. So we're going to go like this: 100, 200, 300, 400. So that is worth 400. And you can write it out as numbers. You don't need to write it out as 400s here. This is acceptable. Over here, let's count our tens, shall we? So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I'm going to go ahead and write 60. Then over here, I'm going to count by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 ones. The last part on this page says, what is the total number of 6? So rather than thinking of them as 3 separate numbers, you have to read separately. Read it all in one line together, imagining you're saying each number individually, and that is actually how you will correctly read the problem. So here we have 300s or 400s, 60, and 8. To read that correctly, we're going to go 468. And our answer is 468. So over here, I'm going to start with your ones. You should write your ones first. 8 ones, 6 tens, 4 hundreds, 468. And that is the answer. Then over here, keep this in mind where you have that. You're going to want to look at that again. This last one here is your lesson 1 exit ticket. I'm going to read this, but I do want you to do this on your own. It says, draw lines to match and make each statement true. What you're trying to do is figure out how they're the same. So you have 10 tens, 10 hundreds, and 10 ones. Is that the same as 1,000, 110, or 100? I recommend you draw out a picture if you can. If you can't fit it here, maybe use a piece of scratch paper to go ahead and do that. I think it'll help you see the answer better. If you know the answer without having to see it, that's fine too. And the next one says, circle the largest unit, box the smallest. So when you circle the largest, you kind of want to make like an oval around it, and to make a box around it, you want to go ahead and put a little rectangle around the smallest. So circle the largest, box the smallest, and you need to figure out which number here is the smallest, which is the biggest. You might want to also draw it out to help you. Number 3 says, draw models of each and label the following number. What it means when it says label the following number is just like here, we wrote 400. This is labeling that bundle. So here it says 2 tens. You need to draw 2 tens and write what 2 tens equals. Draw 7 ones and write what 7 ones equals. Draw 6 hundreds and write what 6 hundreds equals. And that is how you go ahead and solve that.